Hope everybody's staying quarantined and healthy. Today we have another episode of Cougs Kitchen. So keep brushing up on the cooking skills and follow me to the kitchen and see what we're doing today. Andiamo! So first we're going to make the noodles, and it's pretty simple actually. To make about a pound of pasta, you need 3 eggs, you need 2 cups of flour, and then just some salt and some olive oil. And of course a little helper for the chef. First, we want to get the flour on the counter, so clean your counter and then get 2 cups of flour. So once we have all the flour poured out, we want to go ahead and make a little hollow out the center. So first, we'll crack the eggs, and we'll just go ahead and put those guys right in there. Once the eggs are in, we're going to put a half teaspoon of salt in there. Then we're going to top it off with a teaspoon of olive oil. So now that all the ingredients are in place, we're going to lightly beat the eggs. Sometimes some will escape, but what we're going to do is we're going to incorporate this flour in while we beat the eggs. And so this is going to kind of thicken everything up, and we're going to start to make our pasta dough. So as you can see, once you get some flour in here and it starts to thicken up, then what we're going to do, see how it's thicker now, is we're going to take our hands and we're just going to slowly start folding this flour in here, and you can start to really, make dough. So here's our dough, it's all kneaded. Now we're going to divide it into 4 smaller pieces and cover it like with saran wrap or something. And this guy's pretty tired after being, made, so we're going to let him rest for an hour. So once they're divided into fourths, you can cover them with saran wrap, or you can just put like an inverted bowl over these guys and let them rest for an hour. So it's pretty easy. We're back. So once the dough's been allowed to rest, you want to go ahead and put some flour down on the surface. Take your dough and you're going to just start kneading it. You want it to be really thin. Once our dough is somewhat thin, we can then take a knife and we can go ahead and just cut off some of our little pasta noodle here. You can make them as thin or as thick as you want. Just go ahead and make a little noodle. You can kind of shape it. I've got to confess, the first couple times I made pasta, I did it by hand, but then I got this nice gift. It's pretty nifty. You can go ahead and use it to flatten your dough, and then you can also use it to cut the noodles. So I'll just demonstrate real quick. And you can see we end up with some very nice flat dough, and then we can go ahead and cut a pasta spaghetti attachment, and we'll go ahead and feed it through. And there's our spaghetti. So here we can see the final product. I made a lot of pasta this time. So today is spaghetti carbonara. We're gonna need some eggs, some Parmesan and Romano cheese, some pancetta, salt, pepper, a little white wine to cook with, and of course, so we're gonna wanna boil some water, and don't forget to salt the water a bit. So once we have a nice boil, we're gonna go ahead and just put our pasta in and let that guy cook. So while the pasta's cooking, we're gonna heat a skillet and we're gonna put the pancetta on. And then once that guy's on there, we're gonna let it heat up a little bit. Take a cup of the white wine. Go ahead and douse that guy. And we're gonna go ahead and cook the pancetta. So once everything else is cooking, we're gonna go ahead and take 3 eggs and crack those guys and put them in a separate bowl. Go ahead and add 2/3 a cup of the cheese, Parmesan and Romano mix, and a little bit of salt, and then some black pepper. And then we're gonna go ahead and we're just gonna stir that guy up. Go ahead and drain the pasta once it's cooked. So then you're gonna drain the pasta and actually return it right back to that hot pan. So put the pasta back in the hot pan mixture and put it right over here. The heat from the pot is gonna go ahead and cook the egg. Put the pancetta and the grease in here as well. And then go ahead and you just wanna make sure the pasta is really coated with that cheese mixture. So once it's all cooked, then we're ready to serve. So then go ahead and once it's served up, get a nice glass of red wine and you're all set.
One of my favorite things we've made.
Checking in on those green onions from last episode, you can really see after only 5-6 days, they pretty much Thanks for eating. Thanks for joining us, and stay healthy. See you next time.